Hello and welcome to another Toonkind 12 frames per second. I am Sharoo and I will be your host today, or tonight, whatever time it is for you guys. This is my first time, so yeah, I am very much prepared, not really. And with me I have,
Hello, I am 18 Nico Jar.
and today we're going to be playing our little members of the Witch Coven. I will be playing Oilivia Filbert, the resident artist and proud lesbian. Uh, and Michael will be playing
And I will be playing Kita Tesla, the Coven mascot and kitten.
Davey.
Yeah.
Alright, so we start this scene not with the present, but with about a week in the past. Because Lilith, being the good auntie of the group, has taken Kita out for waffles to a certain waffle man. You know the one. And while they're sitting uh, at the desk and enjoying their meals of choice, they of course got the biggest possible waffle they could afford, which is not big, mind you, but it's still pretty big. And eventually, she looks to the kitten and is like, "Hey, kiddo, I was wondering. See, there's this one thing I really need help with. But I don't think the girls would like to help, so would you be down for that?"
Of course, Miss Olivia. What do you need help with?
Okay, so she just like puts her hands to her chin and starts explaining. See, there's this one place in the richer part of town, uh, and people living there. There is one painting of mine making that I really need to get back. And of what I know, donors are going to be out of town for the coming week or two. So that would be a very good moment to do that. And I probably shouldn't be asking this of you, but uh, I don't. I don't think anyone else would help me with that one. I'd rather not go alone. Religions can only do so much, Aiden. Trust me.
Have you tried asking Miss Stella? I'm sure she would be happy to help.
Uh, and you see her like, you see blush climb onto her cheeks because she still has a crush. I would love to ask her. Trust me, but I simply couldn't find her, and well, I think I just, I don't know. She's kind of nervous. But listen, you're a skilled little kitten, and I think with our powers combined, we could easily get in, take the thing, and get out. And if this plan succeeds, I'm going to buy you the biggest portion of waffles you will ever see in your 9 lives. What do you say?
They're going to hold their hands to their chin as they ponder over this. You can tell they are failing to come up with any reasons to reject this offer, because this is a very good deal. After a few moments, however, they do speak up. So, are they bad people if they've taken something of yours?
You see her kind of tense up, and it takes her a little bit to answer. We aren't bad people. We just have something of mine. I need to get it back. It's really urgent.
Kita's going to nod. Yep, okay. And you watch as they are going to remove their cowboy hat, and then pull out another cowboy hat except black.
Liv is beating. You know how Europeans change colors slightly depending on emotion? She is the richest pink yet, because this is very, very much relieving to her that she actually got someone on her side on this. Alright. And she just lays out a big patch of paper, like basically a tablecloth, and it's plans. So basically, and then camera cuts off, and we move to the present. We start with the two of them lying on their brooms towards what looked like one of the biggest mansions in the rich part of town. It's really, really pretty, actually. The gardens have very elaborate. Uh, the gardens have elaborate sheared bushes and plant life. You could basically put any kind of flower in there and it would fit. The building itself seems like it's like what, 4 stories, 5 stories tall. It's really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you do not fly from the front. That would be too obvious. Liv has specifically decided to go through the woods that lead to the back. So we are going to start with the two of them rolling stealth to see how well this goes. Oh God, pray for Oilivia, she has no dexterity. Hey! Alright, that's a nat 20 from Kira. This cat is gone. You want to describe how sneaky they are?
You see, there never was a Kita. They were all simply a collective hallucination.
Liv's proudest illusion. Everybody was fooled. Oh my God. So, with these amazing scores, the two of them arrive at the back door of this mansion. And after landing very gracefully in the bushes, Oilivia emerges, and she is dressed a bit differently. She doesn't wear black, despite that being the best option for camouflage, but tool logic dictates she can be bright and still hide well. So, yes. So, she and Ocelli, of course, her peacock on her shoulder, come up to the back door and gesture for Kita to follow when they see that indeed there is no one there. And she looks at the lock and thinks, "Oh, this is a pickle. I can't open this." Can you open this with magic or something? She looks at the kitten.
They are going to ponder. And okay, I am checking what they can do. At which point they will speak up and say, I can cure boo-boos. I can be sneaky and I can make it very foggy. I can't do locks.
Okay.
Shall I take the moment to briefly describe Kita's stealth outfit?
Of course.
They are
Fashion is
wearing
important.
they are wearing a nice little dress that Olivia has made for them, and they are wearing it quite proudly, complete with little booties.
Oh, oh my god. These two are these two are going to a stealth mission like it's a freaking fashion show, and I love it. Oh my god, I love them. So Olivia just ponders it because, well, this is kind of a bad situation that neither of them knows knock or anything similar. So the next best option is to search around, maybe look for the key. Who knows, maybe they put the key under the freaking doormat. It's up to you, Nico. I'm giving you the first initiative, and Olivia is going to follow because the MVPs know too much.
Let's see, so I'm just quickly checking something.
Yes?
Nope, okay, can't do that. Okay, so yeah. Kita's going to ponder and then go, should we try and be sneaky now, or should we wait until we're inside?
The last part kind of could cut off. Can you repeat?
Should we wait? Kita's going to ask Olivia, should we wait to be? Should we be sneaky now, or wait until we get inside?
I don't think there is anyone to spot us here, so let's save our magic. And meanwhile, we need to either find the key or maybe they left it. No open. I don't know.
What kind of door is this?
Just a normal door. It has a lock. It looks a bit sturdier because remember this is like high town part of the town, and of course security is a bit better. So you can try to pick it, but the DC is not going to be that low. Or we can you can roll like perception or maybe investigation to maybe look for something to help, or maybe look for a different exit. It's up to you.
They're going to cast Mage Hand on the other side of the door.
Oh, that's clever.
And they're going to try and feel around, like, to try and unlock the door.
I didn't plan for this. Should I roll luck or give it to them?
Up to you.
I think. Oh, that's funny.
Shall I roll a perception check for the Mage Hand?
I think so, yeah. Let's say that there is an option, but you need to like do perception to actually find the lock.
So.
That's a turning mechanism that I don't know the name in English of.
Yeah.
And let's see. Let's say the DC is like 50 or something.
Okay, perception is +6.
Oh, smart kitty.
And let me just check something in there. Let me just check the notes. Because... No, okay, so it's just +6. Because yeah, it was performance and acrobatics. I get a plus. That key has an extra +1 too.
Okay, this is a 17, ladies and gentlemen. So, when you cast it, you Cut around a little, you feel the door, but you're quickly able to, of course, find the place of the other on the other side of the door lock, and you find this little turning mechanism. It seems that the door is much easier to open from the other side. So you take it with your mage paw, and you open it. The door clicks, and it opens wide with just a tiny, tiny creak, but it's really, really minor. And Liv turns around, basically popping out of the bushes because she was like, "Where is this key? Where is anything?" She's just like, "Amazing, kitten! You're doing great." She comes over and holds the door open and is like, "Okay, so from now on, you're gonna have to be really, really, really quiet."
They're going to nod their head, and then, to be very sneaky, they're going to remove their shoes.
That's a strategy. It basically does the same, but you wouldn't think she's wearing shoes with her sticky legs, right? She removes those two lines and she just has like two black lines, and that's supposed to be her shoes. Logic.
Yep.
She puts her shoes away in the hammer space. Sally, meanwhile, is looking at her own little talons, and she cannot remove any shoes. So she's just like, and decides to just sit on Liv's shoulders, and just under her breath, you can hear this peacock humming Mission Impossible. Just like. Okay, so if I remember plans correctly, you need to get to the second floor, and that's the place. So now we start the stealth segment. Let's start with the initial stealth roll.
So, can Kita cast spell first?
Of course.
So they're going to cast Pass Without a Trace. And on all three of them, a little black bandit mask appears. And also, the general noise they're making fades away. So everyone now has a extra +10 to their stealth.
Alright. So, let's roll this stealth. Kita, you are a life savior because Oilivia has no stealth. Hey!
Is 33 high enough?
Barely. Very much barely. Get them from the gods. Yeah, this spell is freaking OP. So you start off very, very well. Oilivia is not that sure of her steps, but with Kita being there and their magic working wonders, she's easily able to move past that. And you walk down this dim corridor. The only light that comes through is through those big ornate windows, or like, I don't know, kind of Baroque style, with golden finish. They're really, really pretty, very symmetrical and stuff like that. Has a lot of rooms, and this is a very, very expensive looking house. That's much is obvious on the outside, but inside there's so much. There's antiques, there's paintings on the walls, there's some sculptures, and a lot of it's like if you went to a museum you're pretty much sure that this place just is a museum that someone lives in, rather than a house, actually. Liv is not looking around much, and she's just leading the charge, of course. And soon enough, you make it to the stairs on of the first floor, or the ground floor, and you can advance upwards. Liv has this like expression of this is going surprisingly well. She wasn't expecting that. Uh, she is resilient and charismatic. She is not sneaky. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
So, does Kita do anything while they go through? Maybe they do something with the sculptures? I don't know, they're a child. What are they doing?
Let's see. They have definitely been. Some of the sculptures that they can reach, at least, they've just been slipping cat ears onto.
Oh, that's adorable. So you now have this like Toonish freaking have this Toon version of the sculpture of David with cat ears.
Yep.
That's adorable. Liv is looking bad at this, and you can see that even though it makes her a little nervous, she can't help but laugh at this because this is very funny to her. So yeah, you slowly climb the stairs. Some of them creak, but of course the magic music. Sally is looking around. She's hopping from the railings. She's just being a bird. And now we get to the first floor of the ground floor. I keep forgetting the first floor is not the ground floor. I'm sorry, I am European. Not even European, I am freaking Polish. So
European.
that's how it works. But not everybody in Europe calls the ground floor the first floor. And even we don't call it that. I am bad at this. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay. So I need both of them to make a perception check as they climb onto the second floor. Liv, what is your perception? She is freaking blind. Okay. Okay. So Liv thinks she sees something, and that she thinks she sees something like glowing in the hallway, but she isn't much sure. Yeah, however, you see it very, very clearly. With that freaking nat 20, your cat eyes must be really, really sharp in this darkness. Because you clearly see that, as per usual in the stealth segments, there's laser sensors. And before Liv can approach any of them, you quickly grab her by the hand. And do you say anything?
They're just gonna go. I think I think we found a supervillain's lair. There are a lot of lasers.
Oh, Liv kind of like flinches at that comment and looks at it and is like very much confused because this wasn't in the plans. But also the supervillain comment you see gets a very big reaction. Let me just restart Discord because Discord is being freaking. Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So you stop her and she tries to see these, but having line eyes isn't really giving her good perception. You're guessing her family just has some eyesight problems. So Do you want to do something maybe to make the lasers more visible for yourselves, or what do you do?
Ah, yes. They're going to call. They have seen many a spy movies, and they know that fog and smoke make lasers very visible. So they
Good logic.
mhm, are going to cast fog cloud.
Okay.
And
So,
you
do you
watch.
want to describe how they cast it?
They are just
Very
going
quickly, or just
to open their mouth, and you know how when people breathe out like on a cold morning, they're just going to do that, but it's just the fog keeps coming out until eventually it feel until
It's
it
just like
yeah feels the
I
hallway.
just
There we go.
imagine them now. I'm just imagining him now doing this cell section with their mouth open and fuming, and it's just hilarious. So, as you do that, lasers become visible, and you can spot that there isn't many of them, but they're pretty. They would require you to be sneaky. And Liv is looking at it and is thinking. Sally can easily just hide in her hammer space and go through like that. But she herself and you have a little bit of a problem. But thankfully, she is very skilled. She has demonstrated her skills in changing shape and size. So she gets this little idea and is like, "Okay, then that's quite an eye on ya. Okay, we have to be really, really sneaky. Okay, come here." And she just takes Kita a bit closer and takes out a little brush and taps them on the forehead. And as she does, Kita can see that they're shrinking in size. So Kita now has been cast a large reduce on themselves, specifically reduce. And while it doesn't have like usual mechanics for that, I am saying that it gives them like plus one d4 to acrobatics to get through this.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta be really, really careful. I think the lasers are kinda sparse on the ground, but you can also jump through upper sections. So
The tiny Kita is just going to give a little salute, and then while they take over humming the Mission Impossible theme, they are going to try and sneak through the lasers.
I am counting this as acrobatics if you prefer,
Yep, that's fine.
or it can be just stealth.
Well, let's.
But I also realize we have split the party a little, and Olivia is no longer protected by a pass without trace, so that's cool.
So I
It's
just.
just so bad.
So I just.
No, it's not a problem.
As well as fog cloud is also a concentration, so Kita's gonna.
Oh, so the spell is gone.
Yeah, sadly. So
Oh,
so I'm just going to
okay.
do acrobatics.
Yeah. You can do acrobatics or stealth. If you do acrobatics, you can just describe how freaking cool you are behaving. Seriously, Kia with the great rolls, that's a 25. Describe the agility.
You watch as they just crouch down eyes widen, they do a little cat wiggle, and they then begin pouncing through the gaps in the lasers.
You can see like Liv panic the first few times they pounce because oh no. But then as they do it, you can see that she's growing more and more impressed because this kitten is agile as nothing else, and she at the end she's just like giving this little clap, forgetting herself, forgetting she's supposed to be sneaky, and then she stops because oh frick, this is still a stealth mission. Okay. Let me see the spells. Okay. So Liv looks at her own abilities and no, she's not at all sneaky. And this might be a problem. So she takes out a rubber and starts just like erasing herself. And that's how she casts invisibility. So she's just, I don't know if that should grant her like advantage on,
Yeah, I
I
believe.
don't know if that's, would that grant advantage or at least a little bit of help? I'm just, I am making the rules. I'm gonna say that's also a 1d4 plus because
Yeah.
she might not be, but she can still interject. So
Let's see.
pray for this mage. She has no freaking.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it is advantage. Yeah.
Okay, so 2d20 plus 3, and I'm gonna choose the higher one.
13.
13. Oh, the DC for that has been kinda higher. Oh my god, no. So you can kind of hear her like, oh my god, not this. She's just like doing little comments as she's trying to sling by. And it's going pretty well until she makes that one last pause, and the tip of her head, the little brush, it literally crosses one line, and you can hear something going off. And the security has been increased. So, it's time to hide.
Time to hide?
Yeah, Liv literally just stands up as this blazing, and she's like, oh no. And she bolts it towards one of the rooms.
Kita
Thankfully, it's open, and you can try to hide inside it.
Yeah, Kita's going to follow. And let's see. They're going to drop concentration on Fog Cloud and recast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. So let's roll this first because okay, this is pretty good. So okay, so as you enter this room, this place is basically an art storage. There is some like paint cans and some canvases, some like painter sheets, stuff like that. There's some tools, and of course, Liv being a UPAian, she just changes shape to fit one of the paintings. So that's really innocuous. Well, Kita, how does Kita hide in this place?
They pull out their trusty cardboard box and hide underneath it.
Oh, that's perfect. And that's also perfect because The moment you enter this room, you think you heard someone's voice. It's kind of like, it sounds male, but it's kind of high pitched. So, also very nasally. You hear that person like, what the? Oh no, I leave the stove on because remember you have this fog cloud in this entire place. And the voice is basically like going around. There's some like, you hear something switch off, and then you hear like vents going on to clear out the fog. And you are completely unnoticed, but you hear someone pass you by in the corridors. And once the steps are cleared out, you can move again and you can go further.
Cool.
Liv is just like, she wipes her brow and you see those like few pink sweat drops drop from her forehead. Basically, you think she smudged her paint a little.
That's no good.
And she's like, "You're okay, kitten? Everything okay?"
Yep, I'm fine. And they are still choosing to remain hidden under the box, so all you see is just their eyes in the little at the front and their tail sticking out of the back.
Liv takes out the paintbrush and draws a little cat mouth underneath the eye hole. And then she like smiles a little. And she pockets something. You see her just like look through the supplies and pull out one of those sheets you wrap paintings in because you're still here to steal someone's painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when she peeks out and the corridor is completely clear, so she like gestures to Solid Cat to follow her.
Yep.
And you're able to pass through quite easily to the second floor. You still might hear some steps, but they are on the lower floor in the kitchen. You entered around the kitchen, so you know it's on the ground floor. And now you climb the final floor, the second floor. And Liv is looking around, and she looks for Sukita and is like, okay, if it's the storage room, that should be where it's stored, likely. So let me know. And roll me a perception. Just Kira, because Liv is searching in one place, just judging. Okay. So you pass through the corridor through some more examples of paintings, of sculptures. There's even some clockworks, like a very elaborate cuckoo clock. But eventually you find a place you guess is the storage room, and you can call out to Liv for that, or you can enter first. Your choice.
They are going to trot off to find Liv, just because they were told to get Liv if they found a storage room, and they are a good child.
Very good child assisting in crimes. So, Liv is just looking around, kind of distracted, when you call out for her. She's like, oh, really? Oh, that's great. Lead the way. And once you get there, you spot that it is again a locked room. And I will say, because you likely try the mage hand again, it doesn't work. Because this room doesn't need an inner lock, it's just simply locked with a key. So,
So it like has a padlock on it or something.
well, not a padlock, just normal lock. There is no key on it. So the answer is either to break it, which is very, very risky, or look for the key.
They look down at one of their hands, specifically at one of their claws, then back at the lock. And then they decide that is a horrible idea and begin looking for the key.
I love this. Okay, so I think that would fall under investigation because you're looking for something very small.
Yep, okay. And
Investigation. How does Liv have a proficiency in investigation? Liv, what did you do?
Kita does not.
Okay, that's a 10. Okay, let's roll for Oilivia first, and then
You could have you could give
These two are
advantage to
idiots.
Olivia because she's being helped.
This is a nice class. Okay, so first of you, they both kind of look around, and then you begin this montage of all of them looking around in the most impossible places, like trying to see the vents, trying to like pick a lock with the claw or with Liv's picky and sticky arms, and none of it is working. You do make some commotion with it, but nothing yet happens. And okay, Liv is just looking around. Is like, where would they put this? Um, she is very much confused right now. I need to check something. Great! This spell is actually useful. Okay, so we can either do investigation again, or I can try something with Liv. Your call. Because if you do roll investigation, you just find the key and it's gonna be easy.
Okay, let's do one more investigation roll. That is not any better.
Finally! So, Kira, you're kinda short, so you mostly keep low and you look around. But Liv has this sudden eureka moment as she thinks she spots something silver in the cuckoo clock. And, lo and behold, just as it starts chiming, there's a key around the cuckoo's neck. And she quickly grabs it and is like, yes! And quietly, she comes over and opens the door and is like, okay, Kitten, wait a moment, I'm gonna make sure everything's... Look out, okay? And she enters first, closing the door behind her.
Okay.
And you can, while she's out, what do? You can like look around, you can eavesdrop on her to see if she's in trouble, you can do basically whatever.
Kita is going to investigate the room they're in, so just looking at stuff, trying to, learn more about
Let's
who.
go to wait outside, but you can peek in.
No, not the locked room, but like the second floor.
You want to go back?
No, the floor they're on, like they're just looking around and that.
In the corridors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me perception just to see if I can flavor this right. Oh my god, this is... Oh my god! Ida, you demon of perception. This is like what, their freaking second nat 20 on that? What is wrong with this?
One.
Okay. Ida's freaking cat eyes are basically seeing everything in the dark. As described before, this place is basically as if you took classical museums and just made it into a house. You can hear Oilivia behind the door, like looking around. There's some shuffling, like, and it's going a bit quicker. Not sure what's with that. But you also just look around and see the little descriptions of the rooms. There is other things in this. Where are my notes? You need to excuse me for a minute. I need to find my notes. I am a professional. You see, but you also like come up to one of the other statues, and you, as you're putting on the cat ears, you spot someone's signature, and it's signed Frig. And as you do some other things, you also spot other names. For example, you come up to the cook clock, and as it's still shining, you see the name Hugo on it, written like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear two things at once. First of all is Liv quietly swearing and growling under her breath and exiting the room, very much confused. It's not there. Where did they put this? And second, you hear the steps approaching, because your searching around has attracted attention. So I think it's time to run.
Kita is going to just going to quickly pull the box over themselves again and hide in the middle of the corridor.
Liv is basically like taking the box in her hands, in her arms, and she's just trying to bring it as far down the corridor as they can. And they basically pull the Harry Potter and hide under the stairs. And while this happens, you hear again the steps approaching and someone talking to themselves. Like, basically someone is already aware that there might be someone else in this house other than them. So that's fun. And you see Liv is like really, really nervous about this. But also she's very much confused because she expected that place to be where the painting is. That's where they should have kept it, right? But it isn't there. And she's just like, I think she's kind of out of ideas right now where they could have put it. This place has some floors more, but you can't really search around without being found out much longer. So she is like a bit panicky.
Kita at this moment is just going to quietly whisper, "Who's Hugo?"
Can you roll me insight, please?
Sure. Insight +3. 14.
You can see that Alyssa is in a reaction. Like she flinches and there's this nervous look on her face and she doesn't answer. once the noises of steps once again grow further and further away, she leans out and thinks to herself, and she murmurs something. And there's this kind of strange look in her eyes, but you kind of see she gets an idea. Maybe the third floor. Right. Yeah, this is a very important thing I need to ask you. I need you to stay here and look out. I'm gonna check the upper floor, see if I can find it. And if you hear anything, bolt to me and let me know that something is happening.
Okay. They're going to nod and then sit down.
She smiles at them and she leaves her peacock familiar Ocelli next to them, because you don't leave child unattended. And she just goes up the stairs pretty quickly. And I would ask for Kita to, because Kita can either now follow her, stay here and do perception, or try to just stay hidden.
They trust Oilivia, so they're going to stay there and do lookout.
Okay. So, I will ask for stealth and then perception.
Okay, so here is stealth.
Okay, you are gone. You don't exist.
And here is perception.
Okay. So, as you're hidden, solid cat style, your ears pick up on a lot of things. You can hear Oilivia actually walking upstairs on the floor. You can hear her pitter patter of her steps. You can do a lot of things. You can see a lot of things. You hear the steps downstairs, whoever that was, but it's pretty uneventful. This floor seems safe for now, so. And as you, Lily is just sitting up perched on the stair railings, and you can see that from time to time, you can see that she's more watchful, more aware of things around, something in her eyes. You can't really say what, but from time to time her look is very, very focused, and from time to time it's just heard.
Yes, of course.
And I am giving you a free hand. You can look around a little bit more, or you can just stay there and keep watch.
They're going to go look in the room that Oilivia was searching in before.
Okay. So enter this room, and it's basically a storage space. There's a lot of paintings here. You see some very, very nice paintings, classical style, and there's a few of them that are uncovered on the sheets, so you can actually see them. And I will ask you this time for history.
History. Kita is not good at history.
They are a child. That is valid.
History is whatever happened yesterday for them.
So yesterday, you were just maybe reading something, or maybe it came up on TV, but you do recognize some of the paintings. You know that they belong to someone very famous around Ankwell, but you can't really pinpoint who. But you know that you are in the house of a celebrity, so that's fun. uh, okay. Let me just. I need to see something. So this thing stuff. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Liz, what the heck? Okay.
That has stealth roll.
That was a stealth roll for someone else. And it's not one, ladies and gentlemen. As you enter this room and you look around, there is this sudden sound of fluttering wings because Ocelli kind of tries to follow, but this bird is the loudest possible animal you can ever hear. So basically, you know how bicycle rings sound?
Yeah.
This is basically the corridor because she's panicking that she left your station. And of course, that attracts attention. You hear the steps approaching really fast, and you hear someone grumbling under their breath. Like, you think they mentioned something about calling the police. So you either hide here or you try to run for Oilivia.
At this point, they're going to drop down on all fours and begin sprinting out of the room and up the stairs.
Okay. You actually hear someone following. Ocelli is basically fluttering beside you, still panicking. This bird is very unprofessional. And you hear someone speed up as they chase you, but you outspeed them. You think you've lost them for now, but you have a very, very short window of time. And you enter the fourth floor. And you see one of the doors being only half unlocked, so you guess this is where Liv is. Do you enter there, or do you just look around quickly or do something else?
They're gonna run into that room, fried and cat style.
Okay. As you run in, you see Liv, who is equally panicked because Ocelli is the loudest possible animal you could ever ask for. So she basically knows they are on a very, very thin schedule. And she's holding what looks like a very big painting under her forearm. It's covered in sheets. So you're guessing you found the thing. So that's always good, but now you have someone chasing you. And she quickly just puts it away in her hammer space. It barely fits. It's like very big, so it barely fits, but she somehow manages to put it in. She's like, oh no. She's panicking, and you can see the pink of her going very, very light, like it's almost white, because she's panicking very much. Sally has this like very, very apologetic look on her face, like she didn't mean to, just bird instinct.
Ooh,
And
that was a concentration check
like,
to see if Kita was able to keep concentrating on Pass Without a Trace.
Oh no. So, okay. So you are now in this room, and you can just like do either perception or investigation to look for something to help you.
They're going to do a perception check. They are good at those.
What the heck? This is a 4 not 20! Oh my god! Okay. So that also gives me place to flavor because this place is actually kind of nice. You are in a bedroom. It's a pretty spacious bedroom. There is like this very old-fashioned looking bed with like, I don't know what they're called, like these curtains over the bed. It's really, really nice. Like, it looks exquisite. The column is like very colorful. There is a wardrobe, but it's mostly empty. And you notice this place is really dusty. Like, some places are really, really dusty, but some of them are really, really clean. Like someone cleaned them quite recently, mind you. And but enough of details. You spot a few things. Like there's a few places to hide, especially the bed, because of course. You also see that there is this big, big window which leads outside, and the latch opens from the inside, so you could easily just bolt out of there. But it might take a little bit to unlock. So what do you do?
Kita is going to dive under the bed.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to say this gives you lightly obscured, so advantage on stealth. But you can easily just do pass without trace again.
They are out of second level spell slots.
Oh boy.
They can't.
Okay, so we are kind of screwed. So I will say under the bed, because it's so shadowy and the bed is really, really big, you can climb under this, and this will be lightly obscured, which gives you like advantage on stealth rolls, if I remember correctly.
That is a 16.
Okay, so 16 is kind of good. 16 is pretty good. So this is, let's say that some of your self is like visible.
Like their tail is sticking out.
And your eyes are glowing in the dark, so they might be spotted, but you're pretty well hidden. Liv, meanwhile, is like looking around, and she notices she immediately goes for the window, opens it, and it clanks under the weight. It hasn't been opened in a while. It's kind of rusty, so there's this big creak, and she gives Kita a look of, I am just going to be outside. I'm not leaving without you, because that would be the worst possible thing. But she's hiding out. She just goes out the window, and she's hiding outside. And while this is happening, the person who was chasing you enters, and from your vantage point, you see. Let's just give it to you because you are rolling and not 20s on perception. Your cat eyes are just basically giving you night vision. So you see this kind of lanky green UPN AI man with a pair of glasses and a haircut that is kind of like military, but not really. Short uppercut hair, pair of glasses, closed eyes or maybe kind of line eyes. Enter, and he's looking around. He's holding like you kind of see that he wasn't prepared, so he grabbed the nearest thing that he could to use as a weapon. In this case, it's a candelabra. He's like looking around, kinda nervously. So I'm gonna roll perception. Oh, oh no. Oh no!
He has spotted the kitten.
Yeah. Okay, so let me prepare for this. I need to swig of water. Gosh, I was kinda not expecting this to happen despite being prepared for this. So as he's walking around, looking around the place, checking behind stuff, he suddenly spots something that usually isn't there, and that's the cattail. And you can see his brow furrowing as he grabs by the tail and pulls you out like, there you are, you thief. You're so lucky. I'm only calling the police. You're in so much trouble. What are you even doing here? And you can see he's nervous, but he's also really, really angry.
Kita is currently crying because they don't want to get in trouble with that.
Oh no! You're so lucky, you little thief, that you actually didn't take anything. Where did you put that? And he looks up from an empty easel. You guess something was there before, and now it isn't, and he's accusing you of it. Where did you take that? Where is it? You're hopeless, don't you? I am not dealing with this. Where's the phone? And you see Liv appear in the window, and the man turns around like, wait. Yeah. And she just looks back at him sheepishly and like, there you go. And you see his face kind of like drop before it goes back to angry again. And he pinches the bridge of his nose while holding Kita with his other hand, and it's like, really? Really? Seriously decide the first time to come back in 4 years is to steal? What's wrong with you? Just here to. And she is very calm, but she's also like speaking very, very quietly, like, I'm just here to pick something up. I'm gonna bother you any longer. Please let them go. My friend. And he looks to Kita and is like suspicious of them because he is not trusting them right now because he still thinks they're a thief. But he eventually lets them go. And Kita, you can run, or what do you do?
Kita's going to run behind Oilivia.
Okay. You bolt outside the window, and you can just see Liv just give you a very apologetic look, like, I'm sorry. And she turns around and is about to leave, but Hugo just extends his hand and is like, well, wait! And she stops and he straightens up and tries to look professional for all things considering being stressed, and it's like, we're worried about you. We are worried about you. For pain's sake, you didn't know where you were and for the first few months. You didn't even write or visit or tell us what happened. What did you expect? If you really need money that bad, you should just come back and not steal from us. I'm not stealing. Hey, what is this? Take it back. What is mine? I'm not a thief, you know. And she turns to Kira and she just says, "Let's go, Kira. I think I overstayed my welcome." But as she goes to leave, Hugo just runs after her with that like panicked look in his eyes and grabs at her hand. And that's when he notices that this is an illusion. Meanwhile, on the rooftop, Viv is already grabbing the broomsticks, holding one for Kira, and the moment Hugo notices that whoever was talking to him, it was just an illusion, um, she and the kitten are already flying off, and the last thing you could, and even before he can lean out of the window and say anything or even spot them, they are already over the clouds. And there's a moment of silence. As the two are flying, the sky is really pretty. It's night, some clouds under their feet. Ed is flying a bit ahead and not saying anything. And and you see Ocelli just kind of like curl up on the back of the broom, and it's quiet.
Kira is just hugging their tail because that hurt.
Sorry, kiddo.
They're just silent for a bit before they speak up and go, "Was that your house?"
She doesn't respond, but by the silence you can guess it was. And you do remember one little detail because of that perception check. You didn't pay much attention, but you did spot the name Oilivia on the door of the room you exited from. They kept the painting in her room.
They're gonna be silent again before speaking up. Why couldn't you just ask to have it back?
Sometimes you have to fix things by your own, kid. Sometimes you're scared to ask for help. Then doing it alone is much harder.
Can we go home now?
Yeah. I still owe you waffles, don't I? I wonder if Choyo is still open. I wonder if Choyo is still open. Maybe. I mean, you can just drop in his house and wake him up to make us waffles, right? He laughs and it's kind of a sad laughter, but you can see that brightens her up a little bit.
Kira at this point is going to let out a big yawn, as they are quite tired.
I'm gonna. You need to get. It's past your bedtime, isn't it?
They're getting tired now.
I know. Liv is just smiling a bit sadly, and she just flies up closer to Kira, and basically their rooms are next to each other, and she just like puts her arm around their shoulder, and she's just like, "Let's get you home, kitten." And with that, the scene ends, and the two of them head to Kita's house to drop them off. And this is the end. So I hope you enjoyed however much. I've been planning this for a bit, and I'm happy I managed to have it. In fact, I am nervous.
I had a lot of fun.
Welcome to Sharoo being an angst queen again. Oh my god. And thank you, all wonderful peanut gallerists, for bearing with me and me being a professional. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was at least a bit of an entertainment for you. And thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.